getting toward the big ones now, right? They're all big. I appreciate everything that everybody does. See why I don't like jumps? Anyway, APW, since its advent, has had many people. Dr. Steve Williams, to Gold Dust, to Prince Iakea, to the late Doink the Clown, many wrestlers that have come in and out of APW. And when the fans were asked, we had a series of 4 or 5 people on there who they thought the APW Wrestler of the Year is, and that would be the fans' choice award. But the committee at APW, we gave our own Wrestler of the Year award. I can say this person, hands down, is one of my best friends. He's the one actually who took me to the next level of professional wrestling when he was working at the WWE, when he introduced me to Dr. Steve Williams, the late Dr. Steve Williams. And it probably sounds scary, the story how scared I was when I first saw me. 30-year-old man, I was scared of Dr. Steve Williams. I literally, I said, don't take me over there, please. I don't want to go to his house. Well, you got to write his book. No, I just talked to him on the phone. I was scared because we were brought up in that era of these wrestlers were like larger than life, and I still, even at 30 years old, because they protected the business, right? I mean, that's what made it so much for that 2 hours, right? To put you in suspense, even though you know it's scripted, right? But just think for 2 hours and give you that idea. And I met Dr. Steve Williams, and he introduced me to so many people. And then he introduced me, of course, to Ted DiBiase, one of my dear friends. He took me to the whole other level where I was writing creatively. WWE, and then of course I got another book with Tito Santana, and it just went on, and now I pick up the phone anytime, and it's not to boast, but just to show you that it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for one person. And this person not only is a good friend, but he's hands down one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Technical, sound, great on the microphone. In fact, I wish he'd tell the story when he first started working with me. He couldn't even talk on it. Kind of like Eric Glamour, can't even talk on the microphone, right? But he had no choice because I forced him to talk on it. Now, 15 years later, I can't shut him up. So on behalf of the APW committee, I'd like to present the 2013 Wrestler of the Year to the Cowboy, Jeremy Young. Hold on, let's go get this. How much? Did you get that one on clearance? Was a certain color or what?
Well, yeah. I do all of it a lot of the time. Like I said, I don't have a microphone right now. Usually I'm a shy person. I still am personally. When I get to the ring, get a microphone, can't show. When I first started, I was a tag team. And my tag partner was always like, I was green, I was getting into it. And I was scared to death to talk. So Tom, being the professor and everything, he kept putting the microphone to me, and I remember the other day, and I was like, I could only talk.
Like Jackson. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I couldn't talk at all. But he kept putting it on me, putting it on me, putting it on me. And now today, give me a mic, I can't shut up. But, I owe it all the time. But, I'm telling Tom, over all the years and stuff, and became friends. I still remember whenever Steve Williams was talking about writing a book. And so we started talking about it. He asked me all these questions about Tom, so I've been doing Tom forever. He was kind of leery about it first. So Tom, he flew into Shreveport. And I'll never forget, we went to his condo out there on South Lakeshore Drive. Tom was there. He was like a little scared pup. He was sitting on the couch, he was sitting there, adopted, bigger in life. But anyway, we all became like this little circle, me and Steve. We were best friends, and we wrote his book. And became good friends with Steve. He turned him on to Ted DiBiase. He wrote Ted DiBiase's book. He turned him on to Tito Santana. He wrote Tito Santana's book. He started writing for WWE. And the rest is history after that. And but yeah, I mean, just, I can sit here for 2 days to tell you all the stories, but I think right now, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, it just shows you sometimes. You ever heard the saying in the end, you only can count your friends on one hand? And if you think about, I know he's deceased, But Dr. Dead Steve Williams, I mean, the guy was, you don't hear much about him in the United States as being a legend, just because he would walk to his own beat. And if a promoter, right, you know how the promoters were, right? They did you wrong, Dr. Death to leave, but he's a legend in Japan. And toward the end of his life, I mean, he got throat cancer, he died way too young. And as Jeremy said, most of his friends turned his back on him. It's pretty sad. I mean, and he went to bat for all of these guys. Every single one of them, he would get them a job, he would hook them up, and in the end, it was Jeremy, me, and him. That was it. And I emceed, I don't know if that's the word, his celebration of life when he died in Denver, Colorado. And you had all these people from Jim Ross, Barry Switzer, and Stan Hansen, Vader. By the way, he talked the whole time with a zipper down. He had a zipper down the whole time. And all of them were like, I mean, nothing. And then Jeremy, I mean, it just shows you, if you have a good friend, keep that friend, right? And you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And every day I got that in my room, as he knows, and people have been in my house, I got this big old picture of Dr. Dead. And granted, he might not have been the best at it, but I'll tell you what, he's the best friend that anybody ever had. So that was all because of Jeremy.
You know, it was sad. I mean, he's the type of guy that would do anything in the world for you. If he was your friend, he was your friend. And all these other people, I ain't gonna say their names, but they do.
Oh, I say, just say it, man. Don't worry about it. These hypocrite ministers, you know, I'm sorry, never mind. John Love, not you. These Christian wrestling organizations, which is a complete joke. You know, they don't want to get their license, they don't want to pay taxes, they don't want to follow the state rules. So what do? They just run involved Christian wrestling, right? I mean, it's a joke. But in the end, they weren't even there for Dr. Dead.
No. It's like all friends. Most of their friends, his friends from the past, was always they wasn't friends in the end because they only talked about the college days. And everybody else, oh yeah, we did this, we partied, we did all this, all about die. I was like, man, you know, people don't remember him like that. I said, I got to remember him when he gave himself to the Lord. You know, he turned his whole side around. You know, he gave up. You know, he did a lot of bad stuff in his career, but still, the people that said it were friends. Like I said, it just, I don't know. I know, but I ain't gonna say too much. You got to get down with that. But
all because of Jeremy. Give it up for Jeremy Young. John Love, who's the MVP in college football this year? Yeah.
Coach Melvin, head coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Hey, what's the graduation rate of Auburn's football team, if you don't mind me asking? In fact, I heard the guy speak afterwards and like,
They don't play them to talk.
Oh, all right.
Alabama's better anyway.
See, Festiv's MVP in baseball. Hillbilly. Nice and easy. Who's the MVP in football? Give it a shot. You're from Kentucky. You're 18 to Kentucky.
basketball.
That's not football. Anyway, what's the MVP in your opinion, Johnny Stark? No, Johnny Stark. What's the MVP in general? In general. What's the meaning of
Valuable
MVP?
player.
Yeah, and APW fans were asked who's the most valuable person. And to me, that's that person who, when they're at the show, they might not be at every show, but when they're at that show, they work hard, they promote as hard as they can to get themselves over. They're there for the fans, signing autographs, right? They do a tremendous amount. And APW, this person walked away with this, and I, again, have the utmost respect for him. Once again, let's bring up the MVP for 2013 of APW, the juggernaut, John Mouse.